What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard, sports journalist with Ballard Sports Media, coming at you with a video today. And we're going to do four different videos for this little mini series, at least what I have planned. But I will go ahead and say if there's a team you want me to preview as far as not their schedule, but just talk up the depth chart, talk about what they have coming in. Really, if I'm being honest, I'm just kind of reading from some experts online and everything, but just kind of giving my 2 cents on, like for this video, Auburn's offense 2025. But the thing is, we kind of preview it before they play their spring game, which I believe, um, Alabama's got theirs coming up this Saturday. I don't think Auburn's played theirs yet. So I think we're in good shape and good timing for the offense and defensive previews for those two teams. I definitely want to get Alabama and Auburn, just being in the state of Alabama, of course, and those being the two main schools that we look at every single year. Auburn plays their spring game at 1 p.m. Eastern Time this Saturday at Jordan Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama on April 12th. So, with that being said, we are going to go ahead and look at what they have depth chart wise on offense. And I get most of this, really all of it, a couple sources uh, from AL.com posted a month ago for the top returning offensive players for Auburn in 2025. And then also I look at rivals.com, Auburn.rivals.com from Brian Matthews of Auburn Sports. So so here's what they have. According to Brian Matthews, who put this out on Rivals, he says Auburn has welcomed in 35 newcomers for winter workouts and spring practice. The group includes 21 of 25 signees from the 2025 class and 14 out of 15 transfers. The Tigers will have approximately 80 scholarship players for spring drills. Below is a look at the potential depth chart on offense with Auburn's returning players and the additions from the 2025 class and portal. So I think we've kind of looked at quarterbacks a little bit this offseason. And if you follow up with SEC ball, if you follow Auburn and everything, you know about the transfer of Jackson Arnold from Oklahoma to Auburn. You also probably saw that they had the number 4 class this recruiting cycle. And part of that was a 5-star phenom freshman in Deuce Knight, who is 6'4", 210. So at the quarterback position, nobody has separated themselves there yet. And also, I'll get into this when I talk Alabama too. I mean, no one separated themselves really in that competition either. But I think it's going to be personally between Jackson Arnold or Deuce Knight. Now, they also have Tanner Bailey, who comes in from South Carolina. He spent 2 years with the Gamecocks. Very important addition to the roster just to add that quarterback depth. People are expecting Jackson Arnold to get the start as soon as possible and really just get it this season. But he does have to prove himself. And even though he had an okay career at Oklahoma, it it's still one of those things. He's got to be able to up his game with what the Tigers have offensively. And speaking of that, you kind of get into the running back, but really the wide receiver core. They they got some dudes. They really do. And it's interesting to see how they have these guys listed. I guess it's based on, I don't know. They have a couple sophomores, then they have some true freshmen. Cam Coleman, obviously their lead receiver from last year, number one wide receiver. Malcolm Simmons is number one um, at slot. And then another basic wide receiver they have listed for Auburn is Eric Singleton Jr., who transfers over from Georgia Tech, who was very productive for the Yellow Jackets last season and a year prior. So I, I think that they got the talent there. to help whoever starts at quarterback, which thankfully at quarterback position for Auburn, if you're thankful about anything, Peyton Thorne's out of the picture. He is out of eligibility. He can go pro. He can get drafted. I don't think he's going to get drafted. I think he'll get signed as an undrafted free agent. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like he just kind of declined in play after he left Michigan State. And he was good over there, and he wasn't terrible at Auburn. He just wasn't as productive as maybe we expected him to be. And I think that he just had some key issues that ultimately led to a downfall in his draft, um, like potential and projections. So, but getting back to this year for Auburn, Cam Coleman, wide receiver, Horatio Fields behind him, and Duke Smith, a true freshman who is 6'2", 190. At slot, they have listed Malcolm Simmons as the number one guy and Bryce Kane behind him. Tied for first, interestingly enough, at wide receiver, Eric Singleton or Perry Thompson, who was a five-star recruit from last year's class. He comes in a true sophomore this year, 6'3", 222. Sam Turner behind him, Eric Smith also on the wide receiver list, lining up outside. Um, so they say that Eric Singleton coming over from Georgia Tech can play outside or slot, projects as a starter or a key part of the rotation, ranked by rivals as the nation's number 2 overall transfer. Coleman and Simmons had standout freshman seasons, and Thompson and or Kane could certainly step up in year 2, and it goes on. At tight end, a couple different guys out there. Brandon Frazier leads the group as a 6-foot senior. Then it becomes kind of a battle. So different offenses out there have different number of tight ends. I think Auburn's the basic 3 wide and 1 tight end basically is what they have. Alabama kind of runs the same way too. A couple different SEC teams do, but yeah, at tight end for offense and for Auburn, they're expecting Brandon Frazier, a 6-foot senior, to return for his 6th year and get the start. They do have 2 transfer tight ends, Rico Walker and Preston Howard, both from Maryland. Interestingly enough, both from the same team there, transferring in to Hugh Freeze in Auburn. They came in January. Both will have a chance. I'm reading from the article here. Both will have a chance to step up and compete for a starting position or a part in the rotation. Auburn's depth should allow the 2 freshmen to develop at their own pace. Then it gets to, of course, the offensive line. You got, you know, what do you 9 positions or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 positions. I apologize. You have left tackle, left guard, right tackle, and right there in the middle, snapping you the ball is the center. They expect a junior and Connor Liu uh, to be the starter. 6'3", 302 pounds. Go back to left guard real quick. Um, Well, let's start from the top at left tackle. Xavier Chaplin is expected to start there. Dylan Wade at left guard. Connor Liu at center. Jeremiah Wright at right guard. Right tackle Mason Murphy. And then each of those positions, except for the center and left tackle, have about 4 deep on the roster, which is really, really cool. So I look at this. I don't know how talented some of these guys on the offensive line are. I know that was a key issue and quarterback play last year. I thought the offensive line for Auburn struggled mightily, and I also thought with Peyton Thorne at center stage, I should say, for quarterback, I felt like that held them back. Now you have this Deuce Knight. Forgot where I was there. I had to answer a phone call, but what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Auburn's offense last year, I think, lacked leadership when you look at Peyton Thorne. Now, I'm not here to put down Peyton Thorne. I'm not here to say he was bad or anything like that. Just straight up didn't fit the mold. And I don't know if it was the pressure of being in an SEC offense. I don't know if it was the system. It could have been. It could have been on Auburn. But I think with new leadership at quarterback with Jackson Arnold or Deuce Snyder, whoever they go with, and if they beef up the O line a little bit, Auburn's offense could be a little bit better. Not a whole lot better. Not going to put them in the category of dangerous or anything like that. But I think that Auburn is in a good position to take steps forward offensively in 2025. I got to hear from you guys in the comments on that. They have an interesting schedule. We've already previewed it. They open at Baylor. They have Ball State, South Alabama, at Oklahoma, at Texas A&M. I could go down the list. They do get Auburn, or they get Alabama and Georgia at home. Uh, they get Missouri at home. SEC road schedule not too difficult. Oklahoma, A&M, Arkansas, and Vandy. I mean, at least 3 of those games are difficult, but then, like, your tougher games like Alabama, Missouri, and Georgia are gonna be at home if you're Auburn, and I think those are gonna be games that the offense is gonna need to step up big time in, if they want to pull upsets, if they wanna compete, if they want to not have these blowout losses and if they if honestly just compete, they were a game shy of making a bowl game last year, and I think part of it was leadership on offense and finding ways to win close games, honestly. So, anyway, that's my 2 cents on Auburn's offense. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, they have the talent. They have these young and inexperienced guys. They bring back some experience, like a Cam Coleman or whoever. They have pretty much a senior-led offensive line, and I think if they could get 2 things down, if they could boost their O-line and get the right quarterback, they could be dangerous at offense this year for Auburn. So we'll just have to wait and see. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. I love you. Jesus loves you. This is a 4-part series. We're doing Alabama and Auburn, offense and defense. We'll probably end up doing, well, I'll play it by ear. Just stay tuned here at BSM for what's next. I love y'all. God bless.